Go.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the TheEZConvo. I'm Zaid. I'm here with my co-host Emmanuel Bird. For this episode 2 today, we're sitting down with someone we know very well, one of our former teammates, friends, and one of our roommates. Back in college, he was DJing parties while juggling school and basketball. Fast forward to now, he's in Orlando, Florida, and has really started to take strides on social media with his DJ content and brand.
Man, I appreciate it, Zaid.
Some of y'all may know him as Mr. 305. Some of y'all may know him as DJ Kev. Some of y'all may know him as Miami. Today we are joined by Kevin Eman, my apologies, a professional DJ, music producer, social media content creator, and personality. Gracing stages across the country, we are honored to have Polk Street's own Kevin Eman.
Appreciate
Today
it,
we're
fella.
going to be talking about Kev's journey, his growth, and what it takes to turn dreams into reality. Kev, we hope this is an easy convo.
I like it. I like that. That was nice. Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate it. I'm honored to be in the podcast.
Kevin, before we get started, can I just get a quick yo?
Yo.
Yo.
Yo. Have to, man. Have to.
Yeah, man, we're just gonna kind of get straight rolling into it. So
Let's
I kind
do
of
it.
start off, Ed, just why don't you tell us, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and just kind of what you're about.
Got you, of course. My name's Kevin Eman. I am 23. I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. And then, yeah, I grew up playing basketball damn near my whole life. And then I was fortunate enough to play at Washburn University to play basketball there, and I was able to walk on to the team and earn a scholarship there. And then that's where my DJ journey began. And from there, it kind of took off. Just a whole bunch of parties and a whole bunch of basketball games, obviously, during the season. And then I decided it was time to hang up the shoes at some point. And then I moved back to Florida and tried to pursue this DJing career, and I think it's been going pretty well since.
Pretty well is definitely an understatement, Kev. Tell us a little bit more about your journey from Miami to Topeka, back to Miami, and now residing in Orlando, Florida.
It was definitely a whole journey for me because Miami is to me, it's a completely different place than the whole United States. It's just a whole different culture there. And then for me to go move on to the Midwest, it was a whole culture shock for me. And just to learn new slang, new terms in terms of like the American culture and all that, because I grew up in such a Latin culture in Miami in the South. And um what's it called? It was just different, especially the weather too. I'm not used to the cold weather in the Midwest, especially the Topeka, Kansas weather. But no, it was cool. It was cool to meet new different people. And it was cool to meet different people that are some of the best people I've ever met, and some people I still keep in touch with. So, and it was a lot of fun to be able to play basketball in a different state as well. And I've always wanted to play college basketball, so that was a dream of mine that I achieved. And yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. And then from Kansas to back to Miami, uh, it was a hard decision, obviously, because there's a lot of relationships and a lot of things that I had going for me at the time. But I knew I was going to be done with basketball, and I decided to just be done, and I wanted to pursue DJing. So I wanted to be back with my family, back in Miami, and try to pursue that and have the support of my family with me as well. And then from there, me and my family decided that we were all going to move to Orlando just to have a new change in scenery. And since then, it's been almost a year and a half, and I've somewhat built a name or brand here in Orlando to where now people are starting to notice that where I DJ and who Kevin Eman is. And I've tried my best working my ass off just to make sure that that happens. So
Yeah. And that's crazy that you're in Miami. I mean, that's a total change of environments from being in Miami to Topeka, back to Miami to Orlando. I mean, you know how Topeka is. It's nothing too exciting compared to Miami. So that's
yeah, it's definitely a little bit different just because
yeah.
Miami's such a big city. And don't get me wrong, Topeka was a great place from when I went, and then obviously visiting and discovering Kansas City in Missouri, and just finding out so many different things to do around there, like Lawrence as well, Lawrence, Kansas, and KU, and there's a lot of different things to do around Topeka and just Kansas in general. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was a completely different environment for me. So for me, it was like, whoa, this is a whole new world for me. So
For
yeah.
sure. Bringing that real big city energy, like Zayd, you touched on Kev coming from Miami to Topeka. Like, we were talking about it the other day. Like, uh, Kev would come in after a workout and he'd have his Chick-fil-A or whatever, whatever. Just the biggest smile on his face. Yo, what's up, fellas? How we doing or whatever? And just pointing and doing his thing. And like, I'm from Kansas City, so I'm thinking like, I've got some energy. I'm from the city now. This guy's from a real big city environment, and that complete shift, like you said, Kev, is very admirable.
Appreciate you. E.
So Kevin, DJ
Is it-
Kev. So you came from Miami, came to Washburn to play basketball. You did 3 years of basketball. Ended up back. You hang up the shoes. Ended up back in Miami. But kind of, I want to hear more about how you got into DJing. You know, that's such like a niche. Like you don't walk around every day and hear too many people say they know how to DJ. So I want to know kind of where did this passion come from?
So I just grew up loving music, no matter what. So music was always an influence in my life. I never thought about DJing. That never came to my mind until like maybe COVID. And I remember watching the first like ever big DJ duo in Miami when I was like 14 at the back of a hotel where they're having an event, and just to see the whole production, concert, and lasers and everything, just the whole production of it, and the whole crowd just having fun with music. And it was just like, huh, I feel like it would be cool to be a DJ one day, but I didn't do anything about it. And then when COVID happened, I was like, well, I can't play basketball right now because the world is kind of on pause. But then I was like, let me see what this DJing life is about. So then I just literally stayed in my room for a whole year and just looked up tutorials how to DJ, and I just DJed in my room. Definitely wasn't good at all at the beginning, but after a year, and then again, it was COVID, so I never DJed in front of anybody. And then damn, wait, once I, once I
Something going
DJ'd,
around, man.
what happened?
I said there's something going around. Everyone's getting sick right
Something,
now.
man. Once I moved to Kansas, and I remember during my freshman year, a teammate of mine said he was a part of a fraternity, and he went, "Hey, I heard you're a DJ." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a DJ." He goes, "Well, we got a party going on this weekend. So if you want to DJ, you can." We never had a DJ before. And I was like, "Well, I've never DJed in front of a crowd," but I didn't tell him that. So I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Hooked up two of their speakers that they had, two like mismatched speakers. But that day, that party, that unlocked something for me to where I love just controlling the vibe for a party. So from there, then the word was going around about DJ Kevin. Then people just wanted to throw parties, and within that first year, freshman year, I did almost all the parties for free because it was just like, look, I just want to get my name out there, and I just want to throw a party. And then yeah, that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, Kev, could you elaborate more on when was that first party or that first big time moment? And for me personally, I feel like I know we talked about it before, but for the audience, what was that big moment in your heart or in your mind where you were like, no, this is something I can do professionally. This is something that I can, make a living out of and pursue as a passion.
I think I think for me it was when obviously the more parties came, the more I was like, this is fun. But I think when it came to like actually organizing parties rather than me being asked to DJ, it was like me organizing events like with you guys when I was living with you guys at the time. Um, we were like just talking about who can we invite. Let's try and get majority of the school at this house party. And yeah, it was actually the organizing and the gist of it and seeing how it all came together. And then we threw down like, if not one of the biggest parties like of the year. And that was one of my favorite times ever because then I think that was like sophomore year, I think my sophomore year. And that's when I had my own speakers, like the big speakers that the whole down the street could hear, and lights, production, and everything. I had a fog machine like that. That was when I knew I wanted to do it for real because it was like this was a nightclub and a house party. And that's when I knew I was like, this energy and this type of lifestyle, it's like, I definitely want to do it for sure.
Very cool. I can tell. I can speak from firsthand experience. DJ Kev knows how to turn up a room.
That is a fact.
Just a little bit, man. Just a little
He
bit.
knows how to. He knows how to turn up a room. And just to be a little more specific, where are you referring to? The '90s party, sophomore year,
90s, more like the 2000s parties.
two thousands.
I was
Sorry,
gonna
That was
say,
correction.
that was
let,
one of
let,
my
me, let me
favorite
give
parties of
everybody
all time.
a visual representation of what's happening here. You got two young freshmen, haven't been to a college party before, have never known anything outside of it besides what we saw in movies or anything like that. So you got this guy from Miami. That's all we know. He's our teammate, very high energy guy on the court. But other than that, it's like, we don't know what he's gonna do when he gets on the stage.
No, when
And some of the seniors at the time, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna have a party, coming back to school party," and I guess wouldn't be coming back to school. It was around what Octoberish,
it was like
October,
September, October.
Septemberish, but it was the first legitimate party of the
Yeah.
year for us college kids. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna have Kev host it." We're like, "Okay, cool." So I know what Kev can do because for those of you that don't, me and Kev were peas in a pod in one of the
Man.
basketball houses in the living room uh, throughout the summer. So I've heard him mix before. So uh, we get to the party and people start flooding in. People start flooding in, and before you know it, fog machines going, the lights are going, the
Yup.
lights are lasering. And I see people start throwing their hands up. People are jumping up and down. Kev's doing his point. It's getting legit. I'm
Yup.
like, well, this guy he's really turning this thing up right now.
No, I remember the main thing for this party, I was like, I think it was, if not the first big production party and like host, like I said that I did. And I said, you guys are freshmen. I know there's a whole bunch of new freshmen coming in from all sports and the whole school. So I said, let's see how far I've come since the last year, and let me just say like a welcome to Washburn type of moment. And then I said, I'm gonna try and bring the Miami nightlife to Topeka and to Washburn. So I said, let's throw a party. And then that night, that's the night to remember, let me tell you, because I did not think we were going to make it out of there because that floor, I had my doubts with the floor, let me tell
I wanted to ask you this also. When being that early into your career and still very early into your career now, still very hungry in your ambitions, but did you feel like, getting the fog machine, because this stuff is not at the time, it's not someone saying, "Hey, Kev, we want to get you a fog machine. Hey, Kev, we want to get you lights. We want to get you speakers." Did you see that and be like, "This is an investment I know"? And how did you know for sure that those investments were the proper investments to, further your passion and career?
Oh, it was 1,000% an investment. For me, the main reason why I got them, it was just because I know some people, because obviously we're college kids, so majority of us at the time were underage, so we can't go into nightclubs. And I've dreamed of playing into nightclubs, so then I said, just why not make this house party like a nightclub type of scene? And for me, it was like I just wanted to make my parties unique, and I wanted everyone to say like I've been to a DJ Kev party. And with the whole production, you'll have some lights and everything, and I know some like big D1 schools and whatever, they'll have a couple DJs and they'll invest in money and all that. But I was like, look, I don't want to go anything too crazy because one, I didn't have the money at the time, so I just had what I had. And then on Amazon, I just got a light and a fog machine. So after that, it was just like, what little thing can I do that can make the biggest difference between a regular house party and then a DJ Kev party? And then just wanted to give Washburn like a party scene. You know what I mean? So I hope that answered the question.
No, 100%. And for anyone listening, Kevin Eman is a prime example. YouTube University and
Yup.
Amazon and a dream could take you very, very far.
Yup,
Whatever
exactly.
you
YouTube,
know.
let me tell you, YouTube University is probably everything in my life right now. Like
Hey,
basketball literally started just from YouTube, and like how to spin the basketball on my finger, it was all just YouTube. After that, I was lucky enough to have some people to teach me the sport, and then yeah, that's been my whole life in terms of everything that I set my mind to. Just first, let me love um whatever it is that I want to do first, and then everything else, if you're serious about it, then you go seek for teachers or the teachers will come to you. So
Cool. So Kev, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this part. So you started off doing house parties, and then you kind of progressed through that, and then you started booking. Correct me here. You started booking in KC probably our sophomore year, your junior year. You started getting some events going on in KC. How did first of all, how did those come about? Did you? I don't know exactly how the DJ scene works. Do you book with someone that books you for those shows, or how does that work?
so how the nightclub scene started for me, because I mind you, I did freshman year, sophomore year, all just college parties and occasional like private events and formals and a couple weddings. But I said at some point, I was like, look, is there any chance that I could possibly do like a nightclub? Because again, that's always been a goal, just to even play. Wasn't like the wasn't like the dream to like make that happen. I was like, look, if I had the chance to play at a club, cool by me. But it was just funny because the way it started, I met this girl online, and by random, I think it was just she posted something that I agreed on, and then I just DM'd her, and then I was like, oh my God, you also love this type of music too? And then she goes, yes, oh my God. Shout out to Anna Lillis, by the way. She's the reason why I am where I am today in terms of how the whole music festival and club scene and all that started. So shout out to her. But she was a promoter at a club at the time called the Levy. And then she told me, she goes, have you ever DJed at a club? And I was like, no. She goes, well, they have an open decks to where any new DJs or professional DJs can just have the chance to DJ at a nightclub with professional equipment. And you guys can play whatever you want for 30 minutes, and we'll have like the crowd there, the people that also like that type of music. So I said, of course, sign me up. And that was the end of my sophomore year. It was April 1st, I believe. I remember when I first got into that nightclub, and I was the luckiest guy in the world because that night I met all the people that I needed to meet, like in order to take me further into my career. And nothing could have, I wouldn't have changed how the night went, and especially the people that I met, because I'm still friends to every single person that I met that night. And I remember the second I touched that equipment and I was able to feel that energy and be around people that also like the specific music that I do, because I like more EDM, electronic dance music. The fact that I was around that community, it was one of the best feelings in the world. And I said, now this is the environment I definitely want to go. And then from there, I just kept in contact with Anna, and then she helped me get more gigs. Her, Anna, and then Zach Schneller, they both helped me get booked at nightclubs and music festivals, and it's just been up from there. And that's been one of the best feelings ever. And then that's when I discovered even a bigger passion of DJing, because I was like, there's more than just house parties.
100%. It sounds like a simple open, like an open gym invite almost, Kev. Like, hey,
Right.
there's an opportunity, and are you willing to take it? You know, and that kind of speaks volumes onto who you are as a person and your ambition to chase this dream. Um, my question for you off of that is, when you were in those nightclubs and started to um, dive into that scene, did you ever feel like, man, this is obviously it's a difference from house parties and ballroom dances and things like that. I know you hosted a couple of those for Washburn as well. Did you ever feel like this is too big of a scene for me, or is I'm not ready for this yet, or how did you go about jumping into that environment and completely just almost taking it over?
The funny thing was, I was actually going to hop on that in terms of, um, I was scared in a way to go into that nightclub scene, not because it was the nightclub scene, like that nightlife, but it was because I was fully committed to basketball. And I was just nervous. I'm already having a lot on my plate with basketball and practice, and try to like become the best version of myself and the best basketball player that I can to help out the team. Um, but now this was a completely different thing, because house parties, I could walk, house parties, I can walk 2 seconds down, 2 seconds down, and that's a house party. And then, um, what's it called? Now the nightclub, that was in Kansas City, so that would be an hour of a drive there, and then an hour drive back, and those would be late nights on the weekends. So that was, it was more just the time and the energy on how I was gonna feel for school and basketball, and try to balancing all that. But once I got into a routine, I got used to it. Didn't mean I wasn't tired, because I was definitely tired after every single weekend of DJing at the nightclubs, and then possibly house parties as well, and then have practice and weights at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. Like, it was a lot, but it wasn't, I knew what was going to come with it, and I just took responsibility for it, and just made up for all the tiredness, and made up for, I guess, how to balance everything. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
No, 100%. And if you're listening, like, from if you can't tell by the way Kevin's speaking and what he's saying, he's telling the truth here. And I'll be the first to say Kev is the first one in the gym, last one to leave. So if he's saying that we're having weights or practice at 8, 6, 9, 10 a.m., he's probably there at 5 a.m. He's probably there at 7 a.m. if it starts at 10. You know what I mean? Like, so to be able to balance both of those things at that time is, I kind of wanted to know your start into that and how you were able to do so.
It was just,
And I you elaborated on that well.
yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate that.
Sorry if I did my camera. I think my camera hopped off for a sec. I'm back in now. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not.
No, you're good.
Um, I'm back now.
You're
Sorry about
good.
that.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
So Kev, kind of want to fast forward now. So you leave Topeka, you go to Miami, and now you're in Orlando. The last couple months, man, you really jumped into the scene. You kind of been seeing your stuff all over. What changed? What kind of started this trend of you trending upward at such a rapid pace?
It was it's funny because and it I understand now when some people say this, but it's like it seems like it was all so fast, but it was a long journey actually. From even when I started DJing like my freshman year at Washburn to even now, like that's when it started. I guess what changed I guess what changed when I moved to Orlando was at some point I said, let me just make some content. Like my dad brought it up. He goes, why don't you just record yourself like at the club? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't want to be like a content creator. I didn't want to be like an influencer, like that type of thing. Because I just wanted to be strictly like just a DJ and try to go big from there, like hopefully get noticed. But with social media evolving and the way TikTok and everything was going, I was like, I gotta hop on the train. So I gotta like adapt. At some point, I just grabbed the $10 cheap wireless mic and then I plugged it into my shirt and I said, this is the nightlife of a DJ. And then I basically just gave people a whole new world in terms of what DJs go through at a bar scene or a nightclub scene. And then I remember the first 2 months of just posting consistently and consistently probably like 2 or 3 videos a week. At the time, I was getting probably 1,000 view videos and 2,000 views. And then at some point, the big one was like 4,000 views. And I was like, hey, okay, people are starting to like this. And then all of a sudden, I remember certain videos I just started posting. And then it was more consistently to now, instead of 2 or 3 videos a week, now it was 4 to 5 videos a week. And then just certain videos would get viral. And I got my first like 10,000 view video. And I was like, whoa, all right, people like this. Okay. And then the numbers just kept adding up to where now my most viral video is almost 11 million views. And it's crazy just how it's gone. And it's literally been in the span of the last 3 months. I went from when I left Topeka, I had around 1,200 followers. And then again, when I left Topeka in 2024, and then I moved to Orlando, and about a year and a half later, I still had 1,500 followers. All of a sudden, in the last 3 months, I now have, and I'm lucky and I'm so grateful that I now have 37,000 followers just simply from being consistent and all this content that I'm creating, and people just somewhat like what I do. And then, yeah, it's been so much fun. And I have to give my flowers to it, but the first viral video was the 2000s party. It was a clip where everyone went crazy to a certain transition that I did, and that's where I saw, wait, this social media thing could go viral, because that was the first one that hit 100,000 views, and I was like, hey, thank God for those house parties.
Hey, and if you ain't been to a DJ Kev party, them transitions, boy, I tell you. Them transitions, boy, I tell you.
Then the whole house went
Um,
crazy.
hey, Kev, I have to ask you, man, like what keeps you motivated now to continue posting this content and continue you know, providing the content that you've given in the last 3 months and so on?
The main motivation was always just for myself, because it was always like, look, I have a goal and I want to make sure I hit that goal, because as hopefully you guys have seen in basketball, It's just whatever I set my mind to, I'm gonna do my 110% effort for it. So the motivation was just I just want to become a better version of myself 1% every day, like 1% better every single day. So it was always just, let's try to get more numbers than the last one. Let's try to get more views than the last one. And then obviously I knew some videos were not going to do as good, but the motivation is like, just keep going. Like you're going to fail. Just like in basketball, like practice, you're not going to win every single scrimmage. You're not going to win every single game. It's like, it's going to happen. You just learn from the last one and just try your best to keep winning. And then you later, 37,000 followers later, then you kind of fall into the trap of like, not trap, but 37,000 followers later, you also get motivated by the nice things that people say. It's like, oh my God, we love your content. You're so funny. Or I never knew this about DJing. So it was also educating people. And that no matter what, I've always wanted to educate people on DJs, the nightlife, and all that. So the motivation for me was just I want to try and impact people any way possible, whether that's the music that I produce and make them feel something, the environment, like the atmosphere, and make it like a whole party, and people say that's the best party I've ever been to, or educate people on how a DJ works and just how the mindset of a DJ works. So that's my motivation, and I just want to try and bring in as many people as possible to that journey. And I'm extremely thankful that I have all those people that are following me and all the nice things, and definitely got haters, but the haters are the ones that fuel it even more too.
Haters are your motivators, man. Haters are your
Oh yeah,
motivators,
if you don't got haters, you ain't doing it right.
for sure. Well, Kev, I'm gonna plug you a little bit right here. Of anyone I know that deserves what you're having, the success you're having right now, and the fruits of their hard work, definitely be a guy that's to say is deserving everything that's coming to him right now. You know, he's always been the guy who's first to the gym, last to leave, late nights, staying up, working on projects for music, and you know, doesn't I? It sounds selfishly, not even selfishly. It just doesn't. It just doesn't surprise me, you know, too much. You know, your transition of everything else in your life before DJing, I feel like it's just propelling you into having the success you are now. Just like that hard work, that tough mindset. It's good to
I
see, man,
appreciate that very much, Zay. That means a lot, man. That seriously means a lot. I try my best every single day.
for sure. So, Kev, can you? I'm sure now you're probably. How many days a week are you DJing right now? Usually,
Um,
more
usually it's
weekends.
usually it's 3 to 4 times a weekend, so I'll do every Wednesdays, some Thursdays, and but Fridays and Saturdays mainly.
Okay. So if you're in there, 3, 4, 5 days a week, you're probably seeing a lot of stuff. So
Oh yeah.
why don't you tell the audience maybe a funny moment or funniest moment in the last couple months that you've witnessed as a DJ?
Last couple
There's
months, or your time at Woo, because we done experienced something with you now.
oh
We done
there's
experienced something with you now.
there I've definitely seen some things for sure at all these parties and clubs, but I don't know. There actually is so many unique moments. It's just from people demanding requests and just passing out like on the dance floor because they've just had too much to drink, or just from party girls at the college parties just like going crazy and just doing some crazy stuff with us too. It was, I don't know. The one that always comes into mind was just the that 2000s party and just the floor almost breaking, because I remember it was one of our teammates' house that we hosted it at, and I asked him, "Hey, I feel the floor creaking." I'm like, You sure we can continue with the party?" And this was like only an hour in the party. And he goes, "Kev, you're fine. This house has been good for like the last 10 years. You're good, man." I was like, "All right."
Solid as a rock.
And then I tested it out. I tested it out and I played Mo Bamba. Let me tell you, I had to switch out of Mo Bamba really fast because that floor, everyone started jumping and going crazy. Nah, I was like, nope, this floor is not lasting. My speakers started moving. One of my teammates had to catch, Ayo, Andrew Orr, he had to catch the speaker from falling on top of someone. Thank God for that. But like, it's like moments like that. And then like people requesting like songs in my face, like requesting it, like play. There was one guy that went, "Where's your daddy at?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a song. Okay, who's the artist?" So I can make that request happen. And he goes, "Where your daddy at?" And I was like, "Okay, I need the artist so I can help you play your song." And he goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Who? By who? Who's it by?" And he goes, "Yes, that's who." And I was like, "Where your daddy at by who?" And it's like, "Yes." And bro just walked away casually. And I was like, what?
Now you probably see all kinds of people. You know, these are a night a lot of people are indulging in probably quite a bit of alcohol when they're at
Yeah.
your events and stuff. So I'm sure you're kind of seeing it all.
Yeah. Nah, but it's part of the DJ job. So it's
Yeah,
like people, some DJs get frustrated with it and annoyed by it, which I do not blame them, because again, the amount of people that will come up to us, and especially at inconvenient times, but they don't know. So that's what helps me. It's like having the patience to where like they don't understand. So it's like just try and cooperate with them in a way. And some DJs just need to understand, and it's taken me a while, but hopefully now I've gotten the hang of it in terms of like it's part of the job. People are going to scream at you. People are going to be rude to you, and it's just look. This is the nightlife, and this is the life that I signed up for. As long as I enjoy it, that's all that matters.
for sure. Well, we're kind of got a couple more questions now. We're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. Um, I guess my one of my final couple questions for you is, you know, obviously you've been going. It's been a lot of change in the last couple of months. You kind of touched on that. And how do you feel like you've been managing this change? Do you feel like you're having to be a lot more structured because you have so many different people hitting you up, or how exactly do you feel like you're dealing with this new sense of chaos per se?
That's actually a great question. I have been. It's been a lot dealing with it. In terms of just like the notifications, like I'm one to where I want to try and reach out and hit up as many people as I can and answer people's questions or comments, especially the nice ones too. It's like, oh my God, you're one of my favorite DJs on TikTok, or your music is amazing. And I always just want to be like, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me know any feedback or anything. But again, when you get videos that are getting like 11 million views or a million views, and then the notifications are just coming in, and it's just a lot. I can't try and click on someone's name without it being refreshed like the activities page. So it's a lot. It's just how to manage it. And one thing I just learned how to deal with is just like, look, you can't answer everyone. You can't um be everyone's friend in a way. It's like you have you support me and I support you, and I love that you support me. Thank you so much. But just know that I don't answer you not because I don't want to. It's just because there's a lot going on that you don't see. And yeah. It's a good issue to have, obviously, with all the notifications, and I wouldn't change it. Maybe the only thing I would just change is just all the notifications that keep coming in, but besides that, it's all good. It's just you learn that you can't answer everyone, and you just got to keep doing you.
Okay, we might have to get you like two or three phones or something, bro, so you can
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But
Oh, that's been a talk. That's been a talk. I might get a second phone if one is just work and one is just like personal.
man.
what's the song?
I got two phones.
Nah, we've talked a lot about your journey and transition into house parties to nightclubs to all of the different venues you perform at, Kev. And just recently here, you spoke on your maturity and structure and things like that. And my next question for you is, what overall is this phase in your life right now teaching you?
I think it's teaching me the two main things it's teaching me is patience and discipline. Those are the two main things. The discipline is where I have to be consistent with my content. I have to be consistent, and not even much with the content. It's just I have to be consistent with my workflow in terms of either the videos that I make or the music that I'm creating. And I have to always provide new music for people at the club. So that means taking the time in my day to discover new music and have it on my laptop or on my USB to perform it at the clubs. Or if I want to become more as like a music producer, I need to be able to sit down in the studio 6 to 10 hours a day and just try to make the next hit track to hopefully puts the name Kevin Eman in the industry and in the world. And out of the 300 songs that you're going to make, 299 of them are going to suck. And then there's always going to be that one. And that's just the industry. That's the music producing and songwriting life, to where it's just you keep making it, you keep making music and music until one sticks and is one catchy. And the patience is just, again, um, dealing with people coming up to you with requests, or even dealing with managers or bosses or people that are going to promise you a lot of things, and they don't they don't stick to what they say, and you can't be mad at it. And I've definitely been mad at those things, but it was because I was early in my career and I didn't know. I had an idea what the industry was, but to actually be a part of it and experience it, it was like, oh wow, no, that hurts. This sucks. But it's just like what helps me and what my dad taught me is like, look, it's gonna keep happening. So at this point, just expect it. And look, the good ones will come, and then those opportunities, they will help you. So the discipline in terms of making music every day and making content every single day, and then the patience of however long it's going to take me to break through in this world and in this industry. You just have to keep going, and that's the patience part of it.
Patience is a virtue, my friend. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kev, what you're telling me is that we need to get back in the studio and make 298 more songs.
Man,
That's what
yeah.
you're telling me right now.
You never know, man. You never know. Who knows? That next one might get E in the industry too, man.
But hey, anybody listening, man, me and Kev hopped in the studio when we were roommates, a little Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg action dynamic, but yeah, that song was terrible. But anyway, Zayd, I'm gonna let you ask your final and then hit the home run wrap up, brother.
Perfect. All right. So I want two things from you to kind of finish up the episode. I want a short piece of advice to any kids, anyone out there chasing a passion or a dream. And then if you could just throw in, I know you're coming to Kansas City this weekend. If you could
Hey,
plug that for us. And yeah, floor is yours. Anyone chasing a passion of theirs out there.
just go for it. That's my main thing. If you're gonna if you're gonna set your mind into something, you better go at it 110%. And you just gotta know there's always one person, no matter what. It doesn't matter how good you think you are. It doesn't matter. There's always one person, at least, going to be better than you. And there's always something to learn. So be a sponge in anything that you do. So learn with anything and be a supporter no matter what. Because it's really easy to have an ego and be like, oh, I'm better than this person, or I don't need to go to this. It's like you will see how you will become a better person overall when you can look past yourself. And whether that's basketball, DJing, it's like if you go support a teammate or go support a friend that plays for another school, or me show up to a DJ gig that I'm not playing at and just support the local DJs, it's like you'll feel good because it's like you're seeing the new talent, or you're discovering some new things. And to me, it's just be a nice person. I know it sounds like cheesy, but just be a nice person because it just goes a long way with anything. And set your mind to it, and you go until you know you possibly cannot go. So, and that's why with anything that I do, I'm gonna go until I decide when I stop. So that's my advice. And then the plug is the plug is this weekend I'm playing at Aura, Kansas City, January 10th, and it's gonna be a fire lineup. Jimmick, Incision, Anna Lillis, Sharker, Dream, and then your boy's going to be headlining. This is his first headline show. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a party for sure. So if you guys want to come out, y'all come out to Kansas City at the Oro nightclub.
Everyone come check him out this weekend. This
Yeah,
dude right here,
you got
he's the
some new
man.
music coming out too.
I do.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it. Don't be modest.
So can't say too much yet, but at the plan is the end of the month. So the end of January or beginning of February, I'm gonna release a single that I haven't released a song in a while, so it's been almost a year and a half or 2 years maybe that I've released an original song. So this one I'm super excited, and it's also a collaboration that I didn't ever think in my mind it would happen. So the person that I'm working with, it was a lot of fun working with them, and they definitely made the song where it's at. So I'm excited to hopefully share it to the world, and hopefully that could be the start of something for this year. And the goal this year is to release new music and more music to everyone.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Well, Kev, you're the man. We appreciate you coming on. Everyone watching, if you want to keep up with Kev, follow him on Instagram or TikTok at Kevin Eman 11. And Kev, we hope this was a easy convo.
Man, easy, man. Easy, man.
Appreciate you, Ken.
Hope this
Appreciate
was
you.
good.
I
Appreciate it,
appreciate
man.
you guys very much. The Easy Podcast was so much fun, man. So
Yeah.
great questions, great hosts. I appreciate y'all very much. And it was also good to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on, man. For everyone listening, this was episode 2 of the Easy Convo. Make sure to follow, share, and we'll catch you next time.
All right.